Yo, 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 welcome back to another Walkthrough Wednesday where we are going to jump into my Meet You There remix. I did the remix for Lucas Butler and Max Lean. Shout out to those guys. I really love the original, so sorry about that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to remix. They wanted something that was going to be a club banger, so not the usual, Amsterdam style or like 150 or anything, so I had to really get that house groove, but also get the big room sound from myself, get my own sound in there, so I decided to go for this. As you can see in the top left, it says more EDM, so this is like the 12th version. I had lots of different versions and just never found the right one. But this one worked, and I haven't had the chance to test it out live yet, but I think this is definitely going to slam. It's got that really cool rhythm, got that house rhythm as well with the claps and the hi-hats. And the reason I wanted to do this today was because it's mostly samples, one-shots. For example, this is the lead. There's not a VST in sight, so if you are struggling to get those high-end leads, start using samples. I've done this before. I've done a video like this before explaining to use one-shots as drop leads. With this new house style with stamp, I would say this is like the stamp kind of sound. It's you don't have to do complicated melodies like up and down the scale. It's literally just about rhythm more than like a catchy melody, if that makes sense. So you can use one-shot samples. Because if you're not stretching up and down the scale, it's not going to ruin or distort the sample. So let's start with the drop lead itself. It's one plug. It reminded me of Epic, so that kind of gave me the big room sound within this track. Then everything else is more based around house, bass house. So this is a plug. Very simple melody, as you can see, really simple but catchy. The next layer is this one. Kind of a bit more edgy, but as you can see, together it does sound decent. Just gives it a little bit of an extra edge. It's very small, but it does help. And this is just a bass shot, I think, which is the same notes, but I've took some notes out. That's something I would suggest as well. Try using other layers which don't play all of the notes. Try and be a little bit more original and just have this new layer play some of the notes. As you can see, it actually sounds quite cool. So that is literally it. It's very simple. It did take me a long time to actually find the sample. And then find the rhythm, but once I got it, it's super quick, man. So the same kind of processing, tiny bit of mech distortion, a little bit more of the tube distortion. I wanted this sound to feel distorted. Then with the Blood Overdrive, without it, I can't preach about this plugin enough. Just sounds meaner and it makes it sound more full as well. Stereo imager, just to make the sound a little bit wider, so all the drums and stuff could be, more tight and narrow. I've got the attack quite high on this one because I want it's a pluck, so I want it to really click really hard. And the sustain down a bit, so it's less long. The notes are a bit shorter and punchier. Endless Smile, as always. Love this reverb. EQ is as so. Usually I don't really like to boost the high mids, but in this one I just wanted to I wanted a bit more mid presence there, so I boosted both the mid and the high mids as well. And then again, as I always like to put an EQ at the end, if I don't like it or I want to do some changes, rather than change that one EQ, I just add another one. So that's the drop leads together with the processing. Very simple. We jump into the bass line now, which is the second most important thing in this drop, I think. It would help if I unsoloed it. And again, shock, it's a sample. This is actually a loop. Wow. So it's quite a cool loop, but I only wanted to keep this constant dun 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 dun, so it was catchy and simple. That's why I actually found the bass line first, then the melody came after, because with a bass line like this, you really need to have the melody